And back by popular demand. I heard my boy Dare say it right before we went on. It's time to bang one out.
Yeah.
Oh, there. That I got you on, bro. What's happening tonight, guys?
What's up, Pac Man? Big Stan, the People's Champ, man, the winning combination, man, the Road Warriors of this podcast and YouTube thing, the best tag team all time, man. I'm just happy to be the third in this trifecta, man. We're going for the 6-man tag belts.
Right on. I can dig it. Frank Sayer, what up and what's happening? I got to get plugged up into the chat real quick, fellas.
Yo,
Oh man. Hey, what's up, McDJ?
McDJ, my DJ, ACDC. What
that's a
up
cool
and what's
name.
happening?
That's a cool name, ACDC. That's a real
Yeah.
Oh,
cool
yeah,
name.
most definitely.
I think I pronounce it my own way. I actually think it's supposed to be MC DJ ACDC, but I always just called him McDJ. So shout out. What up, McDJ? Oh
We
man,
also
don't
got Larkins Layer in the house, along
big
with Mark Cosplay. 11-7 in
oh
the house.
shit. Man, I don't know what I did to get all these bangers up in here. We got Dare hitting on the tag team, the sixth man. We got Mark Cosplay, Big Lark, McDJ, Frank Sire. Shit. So what are those things you were eating? So how were those? How were those?
Oh, man. Hey, let me go ahead and put them on blast.
Oh,
The
let me
Spooky
get it.
Twinkies, baby. The Spooky Twinkies right here. You know it's that time of year, baby, where all the ghouls and all the goblins come out. The freaks, as they say, the freaks come out at night, baby, where you know BSH is a freak of the week every week. And I had to freak out on these Spooky Twinkies from Hostess right here, baby. And if they see this, live stream, they already know that they're gonna have to negotiate some type of deal for me plugging their shit. But here it is, man. These Spooky Twinkies, I will give them a thumbs up. They are highly recommended in my opinion. Spooky Twinkies, chocolate Twinkies, really
Bro,
going down.
I'm cracking up over here. What up, Big M? Larkin says, gotta leave them in the freezer overnight though.
I never had a frozen Twinkie before. Is it good?
I haven't either.
I think I've had them. I know I've always kept them in the refrigerator, so we'll have to try a Twinkie Big Lark style sometime.
But
Yeah, I had them in the refrigerator too. I just never had them in the freezer. So that's a new one there. Thanks for that.
I've never had them in the refrigerator, so I'm gonna have to throw me a couple in the fridge. But these was they was already cold temperature, so you know what I'm saying. That helped out a lot. Then that's what it was. It was already kind of cold. That's why it was so good. That makes a difference.
All right, so we're gonna just get into some shit. This is a random talk tonight. We have a couple things we want to talk about, but this is just touching base with a couple brothers. You know, making sure that we don't, making sure that we distance doesn't divide us. So, there. What's been going on with you?
Just life, working 2 jobs, get a little time for the toys, not as much as I would like to, but like you said, making sure distance don't divide us. Packing, that's a really good way of putting it. So, just I still do my monthly videos, so you can check me out if you like Transformers. Any scale, I do a monthly video. That's just my way of giving back to the community. But outside of that, just living life. I appreciate you having me on as always.
Oh man, it's an easy deal. We just gotta get up into some topics because that's when Dare goes off, bro. Dare does some good stuff. What's up? Question everything. Mark Cosplay says, "I've never had a frozen Twinkie. Gonna try that soon. You better, man. Hey, Mark Cosplay, man, enjoy that wrench tonight, sir." But I do want to say something. Seeing how Mark Cosplay is here, man, it is glad to see that you have electricity, man. Hurricane hit them pretty hard down there, and they was without electricity for 20+ days, man. That's rough. That's rough. So it's good to see that you and the fam got the electricity going on again, man.
Most definitely.
But There, have you been watching any wrestling yet? Because I might have to hit up the big homie here to get a little action going before we get up onto some toy action.
I was looking at like the the MGF, I forget his name, his meltdown, kind of his little beef with AEW, kind of was following that, but then I kind of got busy and haven't been able to get back into wrestling like I want to or whatever. But that's kind of where I left off at. Now, probably like 2 months ago, I think, or whatever. So
I,
Yeah.
yeah,
but I don't know what Big Stan thinks, but man, between MJF and um oh, dude, I just name just how can his name slip my between MJF and CM Punk, they ought to have a fucking podcast where they just beef on each other or something. Somebody needs to put them together and get them going because they always hammering on each other somehow.
can I ask a
Yeah.
question about wrestling? While when can I ask a question about wrestling?
Oh, of course.
Oh, when we get through with this, I just want to know y'all thoughts on Vince McMahon.
It's one of them deals where I'm not surprised, but I don't know. I didn't expect for him to go out this way. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really expect for it to be the way that he would go out. But then when you really think about it, if this hadn't have occurred, how would he have went out? Would he have actually gone out? When you think about it, because hell, you would have thought. I mean, if you're considering everything, he would have gone out a couple years or so ago, and passed everything down to Stephanie and Triple H as if it has already done on its own. Now that everything is transpired, but you know, yeah. Other than that, man, yeah, it didn't surprise me about what happened. I mean, because he was just in that position. You know what I mean? So for everything to come back on him the way it did, and everything, that wasn't a surprise because shit. Look at Bill Cosby and so many others. You know what I'm saying? That that's been in that big of a financial state and still ends up, getting reprimanded. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So yeah, it didn't really surprise me at this point.
Oh, hey,
Marcos.
come
Marco.
on, Marcos. Come on, man. I need somebody to talk shit with here. What the fuck? Come on, man. Hit the link. Yeah, what link? But man, good to see you.
M3.
That's right. Larkin said he just subbed you, Big Stan. So
Oh man, I appreciate that. It is very much appreciated.
I'm gonna hit up a comment here in a second from a DJ, but I just want to touch a couple thoughts on the Vince McMahon there.
Let me let Larkin know I'm gonna be counter subbing as well, my brother. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody out there that is subscribed to my channel. Big Stands at BSH TV. Yes, I have changed the name for the 100,000 upteenth millionth time. So that's what it is. Yeah.
There. So there, I think here's how I kind of thought it would go. Like you never I was just thought maybe he would relinquish his as chairman and owner when he passed away. I always thought that he would just be the guy.
That's what I thought too. I thought he would basically the only way he would leave is if he died or whatever. Like I agree with you complete 100%, Pat.
But when you think about shit, the era he was in, there's some rowdy stuff going on, and all that stuff now is coming back to bite, especially men in the ass. You know what I'm saying? Some of the shit that happened behind the curtains with women, man, it can't be in your back. It can't be in your history, or you're gonna get fucked right now nowadays. So I understand that it happened. I can see it. It makes sense, but I always thought it wouldn't. I always thought he would just be WWF/WWE till he was gone.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let me and my follow-up question to that is do you think that Stephanie/Triple H can forge a new path ahead for WWF, a good path ahead for them? Without Vince, do you think they can follow a good path?
Absolutely. I actually think that going forward, WWE is going to be in even better shape because Triple H is an actual wrestling guy, as opposed to Vince McMahon, being more of a promoter. Vince McMahon will always be known as the greatest promoter of all time, hands down. That's one thing that cannot be taken away from him. But I think that the way that things are going to be restructured uh, around Triple H's philosophy, being like I said, he is more of a wrestling guy first. I think when you have wrestling in your heart, and I actually just talked about this with someone through Messenger earlier today. I let them know that hey, when you got wrestling in your heart, everything else is going to be a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't really have to worry as much about the promotional side of it if you've got good wrestling it's gonna be a part of your presentation. The promoting will be the easy part, you know. But I think that when you've got great matches booked, great storylines and everything like that, and it's hitting home, making the people really care, giving the people something to care about. That's what you got to remember about with wrestling. If the people don't care about it, they're not going to support it. And that's what Triple H is going to be able to bring back to the WWE is making the fans care about what's going on.
Oh man, Larkin, I appreciate them words, man. Anybody knows Larkin, man, that dude is a kind soul and he's an awesome guy, and I do appreciate those words, bro. Still, hey, I still got that custom impactor you sent me. He's riding high up in my closet with a couple other customs that a couple of my friends have done. So
Yeah,
Hey
and I
man,
gotta agree with Mr. Larkin on that.
yeah, Pack a great guy, man. So like,
Yeah, just put that out there, man. I gotta
yeah,
I gotta just be vocal about that and say that.
well, thank you.
Just about everybody that I've encountered here on the Three Live stream, man. I mean they're on the up and up. You know, yeah, my man, Mr. Dare 2727, Marcos, M3 Reviews, Kaz and Banner. I can go on and on and on.
Yeah. If you are not subscribed to Dare down there, that is his YouTube link. I know that Larkin asked for it, and thank you for reminding me. It is good to put it up. So please, maybe if you get one or two, maybe those end up being some really good people you get to have conversations with. Sometimes it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
hey man, I appreciate that. Like, I appreciate that. Like, this community is such a good community. Pat, you and Big Stan, the three live stream, Marcos, everybody on there. I met so many cool people through this, and just want to do my part to keep that chain, that link in that chain going and expand it or whatever. So,
That's right. You know what?
I highly recommend anybody. Once again, if you're in the Transformers, even if you're only in the Transformers just a little bit, you definitely want to subscribe to my man Dare 2727. Okay, my man Pack Daddy right here, Marcos, M3 Reviews, any of those guys, Pop the Trump. There's several people out there, man. Kato, you name it. There's a lot of them, but you definitely want to subscribe to these people because it's another level of YouTube entertainment when it comes to the action figures and collecting.
That's right. And shout, come on, my man Marcos, straight out of Lodi, bro. That's how we do.
Get on in here, Marco.
Yeah, come on. Get up. Stop doing whatever it is you're doing and fucking get in here, bro. Come on now. Oh shit. What's up, DFS? What's up?
Oh, hold up. DFS, 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 DFS.
Shit. You know what? We gon' so to the question you ask, what did you ask again? How do you think the company is gonna be in the hands of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon?
yeah. Do you think that? Yep, exactly.
I just think that we need to stop with trying to pussyfoot around and be politically correct and all that shit. And it's time to let the rough side drag on WWE. AEW's letting the rough side drag. Get with it, man. It can still happen. It doesn't have to cross the line. AEW is showing, bro, you can still be edgy. You can still hit this shit off without, being G rated, PG rated, man. When you got men in there, and there's women as well, but when you got men in there, man, there's got to be action. So I'm hoping they can bring, they always say the attitude era is dead. It's been dead for decades, right? Well, I feel like it's just my opinion that AEW is in their own attitude era. If you ain't going to match, you know, get to stepping. Go ahead, Big Stan. I'm going to get in our
Yeah,
drink. I'm going to get in our drink.
yeah. Just to bounce off what you're saying, Pac, and just the way I feel in my heart, deep down right now, things do have to get edgier. It has to get to a point to where people are taking wrestling seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like all of the like thinking that wrestling is bullshit. That's the mentality that has to be thrown out the window in order for wrestling to truly reach its prominent era again. With the masses, not just wrestling fans. I'm speaking on casual spectators and things like that. And that's the thing that I've been hitting on practically for the last 7 years since I've been in the business, trying to get people reinvested emotionally, and whatever it takes, to do that, and without, just going too far or whatever. But even me, I'm thinking about incorporating. If I got to get a little explicit with my promos from here on out, so be it. Whatever has to happen, so be it. Because I want people to know just how real wrestling can be and how real it can get, because it gets real. Look at AEW. Look at the situation with CM Punk, as Dare was hitting on, CM Punk and the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and all those guys that are suspended right now. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes, man, that's legit, and it just plays out in the ring. But a lot of those guys hate each other. But wrestling is just an art form. It's just a fighting art form and a fighting style to where, hey, them guys want to get in there and beat the hell out of each other. I can tell the difference when it's a shoot. When they're really knocking the hell out of each other and things of that nature. And that's how you know when it's real. Like when the heat is on between the two competitors. So I feel like the fans have to be drawn back in to more legitimacy, the more legit part of wrestling, in order for things to really just skyrocket in a fashion that it needs to once again.
Yeah. Um, Mark Cosplay did ask for Big Stan Harris's link. His official channel name is Big Stan at BSH TV, double exclamation. Don't forget the double exclamation. And there's the link, man. If you guys are not subscribed to them shits, come on. Come on and hit up the big homie. And we want to say what's up to Fast Eddie. Man, how you been doing, Fast Eddie? Thank you for coming in, because you're gonna lead into my segue, Fast Eddie, right here, right now. So while I crack this next beer open and I hear from my man Dare and Big Stan, I gonna knock this back, because now I'm gonna have a little more time to do YouTube again with some certain events that have happened. So cheers, motherfuckers.
Oh man, hold on, bro. Man, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second, Pat. You just caught me completely off guard with it. Just hold up. Shit.
Oh shit.
I wish you could tell me one virtually like Stone Cold did to the crowd or whatever, so I could toast one up with you or whatever.
So we did the A&E biographies, right? It's been over a year. There was a year ago, May. And A&E went through all the like famous wrestlers, and they did some biographies on them. The very first one they did was Stone Cold.
Hey, yeah, I know I'm fresh out of the hospital and everything, but I am not going to let you do this on your own tonight, baby. If you thought by any fragment of imagination that VSH was gonna come up here half cocked just because I had to spend a night in the hospital Friday night. You are sadly mistaken. Here's to you, Pack Daddy, once again. Yeah. Here's to you, Dare 2727.
Hey, that's to
Here's
you,
to
Big
everybody
Stan.
out there.
You packed.
It's
You
hanging,
packed.
swinging, and banging in the chats, baby.
And shout out to the chat squad, chat crew, man. Y'all keeping it live. Make sure you hit that like button, man. Pack do amazing content. Let's just show him a little love back. He done showed all us or whatever. So,
Oh man, I'm overdue for the double beers again, man. But let's go ahead and segue into that. We kind of talked a little bit. I want to touch base on a question that McDJ had way back up here. He says, speaking of toys and wrestling, what about the Mattel Outsider figures coming, package individual? I do not know about these figures you're talking about. Do you guys know?
Yeah, I saw them. I think they're pretty dope, man. And again, shout out to Mac DJ, my DJ ACDC. Man, I haven't really been hitting it hard with the wrestling figures as of late, but I've kept up with everything that's coming out. And don't get me wrong, man, the outsider figures are nice. They're really nice. I've liked everything that Mattel has brought out. Excuse me, like within the last year, as a matter of fact, like 2022 has been a hell of a year for Mattel and their WWE line. And like I said, man, those outsider figures are really a must-have if you don't have Hall or Nash in your collection. Those are the ones to get right now.
I like them. So I that's kind of in the wheelhouse of one of the wrestling things I collect. I like them, and they've always killed the head sculpts for Nash Hall. Like every head sculpt they've done for Nash Hall has been top notch, and I think that the bodies are the bodies, but they've always knocked out the head sculpts. So I think that, and they've knocked them out again. So I think that this is a good look. I think that I would like to see them do something like a whole NWO pack, maybe like as a Mattel Creations, like their version of HasLab or something, where they did like the Outsiders, Hogan, maybe a Macho Man Deco when he was in the NWO. Like I like to see them kind of expand on that whole NWO thing, and maybe as a box set, you get like they did with the Horsemen that time. You know how you got all the Horsemen or whatever. Like if they did a box set with basically the NWO/Outsiders or whatever, where like you get a set of them, and maybe it's through HasLab or their version of HasLab. But I would love to see that because they've done a bunch of good ones, and like Nash and Hall are two great ones. They've done a Hogan, but I would like to see them kind of go. They just did the Luger where you could make him the NWO version of Luger, but like if they did more, I would love to see that or whatever. But Mattel's knocking it out the park in general. So
Yeah. Marcos makes a good question. Where is this comment? Where is it? Okay. Mark Cosplay says, M3, you hopping in? Mark, M3 is fucking with me. He ain't been jumping on my shits lately, bro. I'm calling you out, bro. What the fuck? I know you ain't out dining, whining and dining right now. Come on now.
Well, he did tell me earlier, him and Chris might end up having
He's on YouTube. He's on YouTube drinking beers right now. He ain't fooling me. But he does say Eddie is the Santa Claus of Hot Wheels, and that ain't no joke, man. Simple Customs by Eddie. I call him Fast Eddie. That's just his nickname. He does some. He's into diecast, some Hot Wheels.
Shout out to Fast Eddie from Big Stan.
He does some great shit. He does supply a lot of people and gift a lot of people, children, people alike. Man, he is definitely, that's a good nickname. M3 Santa Claus of Hot Wheels. So, McDJ does say, just wish they would have continued the Masters Universe WWE lineup. Yeah, they had some fire. It's supposed to be Bret Hart as Triclops, Sergeant Slaughter, and them shits just never. I think they popped online a little bit, but they really never hit like we needed them to.
Yeah, Andre the Giant, I think, was in that series as well.
That was such a cool line. Like I wish they would kind of to you guys' point. I wish they would have took it all the way with the Mattel figures, like the whole Motu line, because there's enough wrestlers to kind of fill that space or whatever. And some of the ones were cool, like the Ultimate Warrior one they did. I think they did the Stinger one. That was the one that was Sting. I think that was one of the last ones I remember, or whatever. But that was such a fun, cool line or whatever. I wish they would have kept that going. So.
Yeah. So we got Big Stan has a little action. I don't know, a little bit of action, but we did have a little topic that we did want to talk about. Um, I think you wrote down some notes. I might let you head this off if you got covered. If not, I'll handle it.
Oh yeah, just basically, it's something that I ran across as of late, and I guess it's just a thing that's kind of circulating due to a lot of the stuff that's been going on lately, a lot of the controversies and disagreements or what have you that's been going on throughout the different categories of the community, so to speak. Uh, I've just noticed where age is starting to be a question. Like at what age do you feel is probably too old to collect, or what age does it start to seem awkward or weird or whatever? And my answer with me and Pac just so happened ran across the topic earlier by coincidence, and I was telling him, that I don't think that it's necessarily got to be an age limit or age that needs to be factored in on something like that. Because if that was the case, I think a majority of the toys and action figures and things that's being produced right now, I don't think that they would sell nearly as much because most of it is being manufactured around our age group. You know, uh, I don't think that it's so much of the age that plays a part. I think it's the level of maturity that plays a part. I think whatever you're doing, you should just do it at a mature level. And I've always thought of anything that I've been into, whether it was action figures, model cars, die cast, whatever, real cars, whatever. I just think that when you go about doing things in a mature level, I think that's what helps to maintain, the level of decency and prestige within anything. I just think that you just have to go about doing things again as an adult and as is in a way that is not detrimental to the hobby. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
You want to always be an example, a good example for those that's watching you or those that's coming after you. Things of that nature. But me personally, I don't see myself ever uh, stopping. I've never stopped collecting things. As far as I can say for myself as of right now, uh, the most I've done as of late, I just kind of slowed down on feeling like I've got to rush to get anything or whatever. I said if it's meant for me to get it, I'll get it. But
right.
I don't just make it my business to just you know
I
go
think I
out and
think
try to.
I think that's the maturity level we're talking about. And I'd like Dare to kind of go back with you, but basically, kind of the thing that Big Stan and I were talking about is there's a realm of collectors out there, and sorry about that, and a pocket of collectors that are very immature. The way they go about shit, you know what I mean? They're not about. It's more about the product than they are about the person. They'll cross anybody they need to cross to get what they need. And that's exactly the opposite of what we do here. I don't fucking have to have anything bad enough to cross anybody up. And that's the kind of bullshit that I don't fucking hang with. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what we're talking about. So if you could kind of go back and forth, a little bit with Big Stand, but just maturity level that type deal.
Oh yeah, so like I know I see some of the names in the communities I'm in. I think that at least for me, mainly Transformers community, I think that the maturity level, I think that we all agree that at some form, all of us will say we're going to collect for something for the rest of our lives or whatever. Like we all love whatever franchise we love, whether it's diecast cars, whether it's wrestling, whether it's He-Man, Transformers, whatever, Marvel, DC, whatever. I think we all love that. I think that where the immaturity comes in is that the opinions of stuff or whatever, right? Like I think it's twofold. I think one that understanding we all have different opinions and different ways we see these figures or whatever. And one person trash may be another person's treasure. That doesn't mean the person needs to be bad down because it's trash, or another person need to be praised because it is his treasure. Just everybody looks at certain things a different way or whatever, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that the people who do kind of that stuff, to cross people out, looking at scalpers for the most part, where you putting figures over people, like I always question their love for the franchise in general or whatever, because like I think there's a lot of people who love money and that infiltrates into anything, right? Like once the money comes into anything, then it takes away from whatever franchise you love, whether it's collecting toys, whether it's, it's some people who love just doing music, but the minute you put money in it, one person get $1, another person wants two. Now the love of music, sports, whatever, it kind of goes away, and then it becomes a business. And I think that that's when once it starts stuff become a business or that you're trying to make money off of, then you kind of lose that love or whatever it was you started with. And so, like for me, when I'm selling stuff, I don't try to knock nobody head. Now I do try to sell whatever fair market retail is, but like I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm gonna buy this just so I can hold it for 6 months and try to sell it for double, triple, whatever the price is. Even when stuff is double, triple in price, now I pretty much sell it whatever I got it for retail for. You know what I'm saying? Like perfect example, I got a HasLab Unicorn. It was selling for 1,500. I was selling mine for $1,000 just because that's a good flat fee. That's how much that's the inconvenience of me to get it because it's so unwieldy or whatever. So like I've always kind of said the thing is to be people before toys or whatever. You know what I'm saying? People before the products. And so I think that that's one of the things. I think that the more disturbing thing for me is kind of we all don't respect the fact that we all have different opinions, and but we're all here in rooted in love of something or whatever. So like whatever you collect, like Star Wars, like I may not like Mandalorian. You may love Mandalorian. We're both here for Star Wars. Just because I don't like it, don't mean I don't like you or don't like whatever. Or I may not like SH Figuarts version of Mando. I may say it's trash. That don't mean I think you're trash or I think your opinion is trash. Just to me, that figure, that representation is trash. And so like that does a lot of times we take stuff personally and we forget that like it's kind of all fandom generated and we all have our own opinions or whatever. So, and whatever I say isn't a direct knock on a person. And I think that a lot of times we take stuff personally when it's not meant to be that way. So that's just one of my observations.
This comment is bullshit. M3, come on. M3, my brother. I love him, man. M3 is my brother, but he said he's immature collector. I don't see that. I don't see that, man. I don't see him putting shit. I don't see him putting stuff over people. There's just so many people out there that can't get along because
You
they
know,
have
M-
to.
M3 got to be a troll at times, man. You know that.
Motherfucking M3 is trolling the fucking Three Live Productions right now.
But yo, that's a good thing, Marcos, right? Like I learned about Marcos before I even learned about Pack or Big Stan from his channel or whatever. And a lot of times the people who are crossing people out are people you don't see in community, right? So like the people you see in community, like those are pretty much gonna be the stand-up people because like if you're crossing somebody that are doing something wrong in today's world, you're gonna get called out, right? Like that's one of the good things about social media. You cross enough people, somebody's gonna put you on blast or whatever. But like a lot of these people, like Jonathan Walker, who just come in, I see him on the Realm of Collectors podcast. I see him in other places or whatever. So like you're gonna see like the good community people, you're gonna see multiple places or whatever. It's those snakes and stuff. And I'm gonna use that word just to keep it simple. It's those snakes and stuff that you may see one time, or they may come back today. They may be John Doe tomorrow. They may be Jim Doe. The next day they may be Bob Doe. Next, and like they keep switching up. But when you see those same people, those same names, they pretty much a stamp, right? And those are the people who keep the community what it is, like what it is here, the Three Live Stream, like who make it fun, who make it enjoyable, who make it more than just the products. It's people.
Pete, okay, so right fucking there, right now, that's right. I'm gonna get lit tonight, and here's another one. But what he said, Through live stream is about people. It's about connecting with people first, as opposed to fucking with shit. And before I take a drink of this, Jonathan Walker, this is his first time to the channel, says, agree. Also notice that companies divide the collectors too. Hasbro knows only putting a few in a box. That's a good statement, but I think Big Stan's got something to go on. But it is good to see you here, Jonathan Walker. And if you are looking for a channel or a place to just hang out and good times, you can hit this channel up. You can hit Dare up. He talks about some good stuff every now and then. He'll have a live stream. Big Stan, he always has great content and he's for the people. That's why he is the fucking people's champion. That's why he got the nickname, because he embodies that. You can hit up M3 Reviews. M3 Reviews is a stand-up guy, man. These are all guys that you can hit up. You can know that you're going to have some people that just call it down the middle and have a good time and not worry about the bullshit that companies try to put upon us. And that's all I got. Go ahead, Big Stan. I know you had something to say.
Oh yeah. Just again, just kind of bounce off of Hasbro. What was everybody's opinion on the windowless packaging format that Hasbro's trying to get into now? Me personally, I'm not with it. I don't care for it at all. It's nothing that I could probably ever get used to, and it's just really turned me off.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Is it because it's retail? Because like a lot of times, and Big Stan, you collect Transformers all scales. When we get like the MP or New Age or whatever, it's windowless packaging. You just get a box with it in there or whatever. So do you think it's the mindset of, hey, this is retail, I'm in the store, I'm supposed to see how the product looks? Or is it like, why do you think it, why does it bother you in retail space and not when you buy from Big Bad Toy Store or something like that? So
Yeah.
I guess that's it. I guess you're so accustomed to going in a store and buying something for so many years. Just think about how many years we've been able to buy, Marvel Legends, Star Wars, whatever, you name it. You know what I'm saying? If it's always had a window or what do you call it? A clamshell type of deal, it's just something that we've been accustomed to for so long. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I get your point there. But see, like for me, I'm mostly a retail shopper. I do the big bad toy stores and Chosen Primes or what, from time to time. But I don't know. It's just, I guess it's just something in my mind, that's not allowing me to agree with that, so to speak.
oh, I don't have a dog in the fight. So the part I understand is that, hey, somebody could have done something to it. Am I really getting what I pay for here? You know,
There you go.
Hasbro has been, hit or miss on some things. Like it may have, I understand. I understand completely. I'm just curious. I'm just curious because for me, I'm kind of the inverse. I buy most of my stuff online and very few stuff retail wise. And so like maybe I've been trained the opposite way. So since I've become an adult, a mature collector, I'm used to just not seeing the stuff and just trusting like pics on the internet or review or something. And like maybe I'm trusting that, and that's why I don't necessarily care as much, even though it's harder to kind of return in that space versus when you go to a retail store and whatever the packaging is, you will just say it's windowless. You get home, it's not what you want. You still could take it back or whatever. And I do think this ties into somebody asked about Hasbro earlier with their supply and demand or whatever. It may have been DFS, I forget who, but I do think that kind of ties into. I think it's a problem when you have windowless packaging and low supply and demand on certain kind of figures that everybody wants. Like I don't think you can't have both. Like if you need to have a lot of figures if you're gonna do windowless packaging, right? So like people can know that, hey, if it is a mistake, there's another one at the store I can go back and get it. But if it's gonna be somebody made this example earlier. If it's gonna be a box of figures and it's only one per case, then I definitely don't want windowless packaging then, because what if somebody tamper with that one? What am I to do now? You know what I'm saying? So, I understand your point, and it's not an agree or disagree thing. It's just I completely understand. It's just interesting because for me, and I would love to hear what Pac says about it too. For me, I think you want to see what you buy. That's just general consumer thing, especially when you're touching it. It's just like I said, I've been kind of trained the opposite way recently. So, Pat, what you think about
Well, thanks for putting it off to me, man. I appreciate how this, but woo, we got fucking diamonds in the house, baby.
Diamonds, baby.
Diamonds, bro. Hey, I missed you too, man. But guess what? Drink again. I'm gonna be hitting shit more often like I used to. So you all gonna be seeing me a lot again like you used to, and that's a good thing because you know what? Fuck all the other shit that's kept me away because this is my family. And sometimes you need your family to kind of set you straight, and not just to set you straight, but man, just kind of level you out. I tell Big Stan we talked last night, and he was off work a little bit because he got some kidney stones and shit that he was discussing earlier. And I think, man, bro, it's been really hard to get with you on the live streams. We might need to rock this out. So I saw a little bit of time, so I took it, and I'm very glad that Big Stan did take that time. And Dare, this I see this 3-pack here in M3. You're always the man, bro. But I see this 3-pack here. Gonna maybe, hey, there might be some wrestling options there. You never know, but I do want to say what's up to Animal Mother Custom because he did show up, and I will get caught up in chat, guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and address what Dare27 says. So the fact of windowless packaging. Do I give a damn? Is that the question? Did I approach that correctly? Did I put in my own
Yeah,
words?
what?
Do I?
Yeah, what's your opinion? Are you okay with it? Not okay with it? Don't
I
really
think in
matter.
I think Dare27 hit it on the money. When we buy third party products and shit, usually there ain't no window, bro. I don't trip on that shit. But for some reason, when it's retail, maybe I like to see them shits. Maybe I have a little more faith in the third party aesthetic, articulation, build quality than I do a fucking retail Hasbro. And maybe I need to see them shits as to why maybe it's good with me third party, but not so much on the retail. So I think that's where I'm at, man. I think it's good with third party, but I need to see them shits on the shelf. So I don't particularly enjoy the fact that I can't see them shits. So
Yeah, that's the whole point that I was making there is that I always like to examine the figure before I buy. I'm looking for little paint errors and things of that nature. It's just little nitpicky things that I sort through in the figure purchasing process, so to speak. And
yeah,
that's probably the main reason why I prefer to have a window package, you know,
yeah.
as opposed to windowless.
Jonathan Walker says, as long as the tape isn't broken, I have no issues, and that's good. And that's the thing. I can feel the way I can feel. DFS can feel. Animal Mother Customs, Frank Sar. We all have a different feel about what we like. But man, just get on there and talk mature about it. Don't be, you know. I just got a problem with motherfuckers tripping on toys. Like, are you still that kid that's in the toy aisle throwing a fit because you couldn't get what the fuck you wanted? You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man.
But I didn't get caught up in chat. So, Dare, I think you were talking about a little something. You on Big Sam, we're talking about a little something about a particular transformer when we were in the
Oh,
backstage.
oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Big Stan. I'll let you lead in or whatever. 'Cause I see Big M, who's a
Yeah, I
huge
may have
transformer
to
fan.
jump in a little bit just to stay up with chat because I'm behind, guys.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I just had to bring up the New Age Skyfire, the recently released New Age Skyfire Legend Scale, and I had to get Daryl's opinion on it. Because I know he's more of the Transformers aficionado, along with like Pac and M3 and Pop the Trump, so many others, man. And I just want to get his opinion on it.
Oh man, I think New Age killing it. I think that they are Big M, who in the chat, he know a lot about Transformers. Of course, Marcos, it's a whole bunch of people in the chat. Shout out to y'all who know about Transformers. I want to hear y'all thoughts on it too. It looked real good. Like it, and one thing people New Age does is they treat their products like mini masterpiece. They load it with paint, they load it with die cast, they give you top-notch accessories. And I think that this is gonna fit that bill, right? So like a lot of people moving away from MP to legend scale, I think that this is gonna scratch that itch, you know what I'm saying? And for people, I'm hearing a lot of people who are just Skyfire fans in general who have like one of every scale, and I think that this fits that mold too. But I definitely think that this would be the centerpiece of a Legends display. Or if you just like cool figures, I think it's just going to be a centerpiece of a display, because I think the engineering New Age and Magic Square do is remarkable. Like they do top level engineering. I think New Age kind of edges out with the materials. They use die cast and something so small as a legend figure, and it looks amazing. I would have to say that. So
yeah, I do want to touch on a couple of Big M says. I think people don't trust retail QC enough to go windowless. That hits it nail right on the head. Go ahead, Big Stan. Sorry about that.
Oh no. Yeah. Just to hit on it a little more. Yeah, man. I was very impressed just from what I was able to see on the New Age Skyfire, man. I was like, wow. They really knocked it out of the park in my opinion.
Yeah, that's funny. I found a rotisserie chicken bones in a Hot Wheels dump bed, bro. Diamond, you crazy, bro. Diamond, you stupid, bro. You awesome, man. Go ahead, Big Stan.
Oh no, that was all I had for it, man. Yeah, I wouldn't mind owning that figure along. There's a lot of Legend Scales figures that I would love to go back and purchase at some point, and that would definitely be one of them.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Derek. We're gonna hit this question.
I want to say that's one of those like defining figures or whatever. So like, there's certain figures that kind of define companies. Like when you be like, this is a figure that made the company great or whatever. Like, and I think that Skyfire is going to be in that list of figures that made New Age great. I think they're Starscream, they're Megatron. I think the Skyfire being there, and plus everybody's prime. Like both them and Magic Square released a great prime. Like New Age with the David, Magic Square with the Light of Freedom. So I think that those are kind of company defining figures, and I think the Skyfire is going to be one of those too. So I definitely agree with that. So.
Yeah. Before we touch the question for Big Stan from M3, I just want to touch base because we're getting ready to move on from the New Age Skyfire. I saw them shits and I was like, damn, them shits are good. But I've been out on like the legend scale for the past 2 years, but I just kind of started getting back into them because a couple awesome people, kind of showed me. And I think New Age is the balls when it comes to legends. Just for me, in my personal opinion, and if you got different opinions, fine. I think New Age does the best for my personal preferences. And when I saw that Skyfire, immediately went and checked it out, and I was like, oh, $160 for that sumbitch, bro. Woo! That's a high price tag. I think it's 7.90 inches or some shit. You know what I mean? So it looks great, but it's got a tag, bro. I do believe New Age is tops for me in my preferences. Go ahead, because M3 says, I remember about 4 years ago, Big Stan was not into the legend scales. Did that change a little bit, Big Stan? I am now out of legends.
It did to a degree. Because I've had some legend scale stuff sent to me, and with there being one of the main guys that would send me some stuff, from time to time, and with me being able to kind of play around with it and check it out, and just to be able to appreciate it hands on, it made it to where, hey, I can stand to have some legend scale stuff in my collection. Am I 100% all for legend scale? No, not really, but it's just certain figures that I definitely would not mind having in my collection.
I got you on blast there. What you got?
Yeah, so like Pat, this for you. I know you a big sword guy. Let me try to get on the screen.
You guys know me, bro. How'd you know that, man?
Hey man, you my guy. No, but this is Iron Factory Grimlock. This is actually in the running for my figure of the year. so far this year. It's an amazing figure. Got multiple swords and stuff. But like we were saying, like kind of the engineering, like it's interesting because like the mouth of Grimlock, the top part is right here. The bottom part is the feet. Let me move in the camera. So like the feet, the back part of this is the part of the mouth, and it folds up like it does something that Grimlock never does before. It like flips it upside down and make the feet part of the head and the head part of the tail. So just kind of to your point, like some of these legend scales companies, I know like you guys, myself, I was huge in the legend scale. Then I kind of got away from it because I need to downsize and stuff. But I slowly started trickling back in. And like there's some good stuff out there with them. So I'm not going to be a completionist like I am with MP. But I am definitely taking the time to look at some of that stuff. And then Skyfire is probably going to be one of the ones I could look at or whatever. Big M, that's what a lot of people say. If they can go back legend scale, they would go legend scale instead of MP. I would say that like if you can afford to, especially before prices got crazy, I would have considered doing legend scale instead of mainline stuff. Like that would have been kind of one of the things I would have looked at back when I first started. So.
Yeah, that's the thing though. We can go back and change anything we want. I mean, if you're heavily invested in the main line, or MP, I'm sorry. If suddenly that you feel like another line is good for you, why the fuck do we have to have all the same scale? Some people have to, some people don't. But if you have love for it, my personal way I do it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what's action figure, transformer, vintage figures, diecast. If I have love for it, it's got a place in my heart, so it's got a place on my shelf somewhere. I'm not so hardcore that everything needs to match. It just needs to have some sort of connection with me.
That's a good point. Can MC DJ ACU right? Legend scales go great with Titan class. Jonathan Walker asked about 30 MDLX line. I think that's a great line. It's relatively inexpensive. I actually have a 30 MDLX figure across the room if I can get up and get it. But it's that non-transforming kind of non-transforming kind of stylized figure. I got the Bumblebee. They're really cool. Like if you don't want the transforming thing, you want to mess around with something, it's like really good dead spot. But yeah, it's a good line, Jonathan. Bro.
So the last time that we were on with Dare, last time me and Big Stan were on with Dare, I remember talking to Big Stan on the phone. Maybe the next day, I'm like, bro, Dare's professional. Dare got them topics. He is very well to the point with what he's got. He is fucking hitting my chat before I can get to it, bro. I love doing shows with Dare, bro, because all he does is just professional, man. He's got them shits. He got that shit before I did, man. I appreciate that, man.
Well, I'm not going to turn you on to anybody that's half-assed in the first place, brother.
Okay, so all right, so fuck the dumb shit, right? So let's all discuss how we met each other, all right? Now, if y'all got something you want to talk about before we move on to this, if we want to continue about Legends, that's fine before we do this, but I do want to say what's up to Red Room Diecast? Bro, I like it when Red Room Diecast shows up. He has good conversations. It doesn't matter what's diecast or not, bro. Thank you for stopping, man.
What up, Red Room?
Good.
That's what I want to create. It don't matter whether you're into action figures, Transformers, diecast. There's a lot of people who like it all, and some people just want to talk to people. So, it was good to see some of the people that do it all.
Pac-Man, that's a good thing. Like you said, like some people just want to talk to people. Some people, like me, like I just have a passing interest in it. So like I may not collect it, but I'm interested to hear like the culture of it. Like they stand with the model cars or whatever. Like I remember asking him some questions. Like I'm not gonna ever paint a model car, but they're well painted. Like he showed some good stuff. The diecast stuff, the Hot Wheel stuff. Like my son plays with them, so I know enough to get him something cool. But like just hearing other collectors talk, other people, other good people or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's in a world that has a lot going on right now, it's always good to escape and get that mental escape and just talk to like-minded people or whatever. At least if you're even only like-minded in that space or whatever, it's always good to get that good energy back to you or whatever.
I think what this show needs right now, Big Stan, all right? I think it needs Dare to throw it down and bang one out. I think it needs it right now. Come on, Dare.
It's time to bang one out, man. I can't do it. I'm not good like you guys, man. The Pack Daddy
Bam!
is champ, man. I'm not good like y'all, but I'm enjoying banging one out with you guys right now. So
Right
Right.
on.
So how did we all meet? I'll go first with how did I meet Dare? I met Dare through Big Stan. Big Stan said, "Hey man, have you heard about my homie Dare?" I remember he told me he's like he does great content. I'm like, "No, dude, I ain't met this guy. I don't know this guy." So that's when it all started. So I started watching his to MP or not to MP. You know what I mean? And I was like, dude, I was throwing some comments in there. I was like, look, I don't necessarily agree with your comment, but I was respectful about it. And he was very, very respectful back. And I'm like, this is a guy I can talk to, man. We may not necessarily not agree on what he thought on that type of deal on particular one, but it was very respectful. I'm like, damn. And like Big Stan says, he ain't gonna steer you wrong, man. So go ahead, go ahead. We talk about Big Stan. So how did you meet any one of the three, or two or three on here?
Man, I remember when I was doing Transformer content pretty heavily, a few years or so back. I think there he found me, on the circuit, so to speak, as I was doing the Transformer content, and he hit me up, and then it just went from there. He subscribed to me quite naturally, and then I subscribed to him, and but I noticed like with his content, as a matter of fact, no, I actually saw theirs content first. Let me get this right. I saw his content first because he was doing the comparison video, and I want to say it was almost, man. I want to say I was researching uh, FT Quietus, as a matter of fact, same way I met Marco. Excuse me. Yeah, let me get this right.
You know
There,
what? We got to go back in the mind a little bit, and it's a little fuzzy because we've been knowing each other for so long. But dude, don't go.
right. Yeah. So it was during the time when FT Quietus had released. So I was doing my research on the FT Quietus film. Well, Dare had a video where he was comparing FT Quietus to, it had to been help me out there.
I think it was X Transbox. Cause I actually got my wife to do the video, and I let her like play with both of them and see which one she liked the best or whatever.
Exactly. It was the X Transbox
Yeah.
versus FT Quietus. So I was blown away by the fact, okay, this guy sounds like he's from the South. That's what got me. He was, hey, just on the up and up. I'm like, man, this sounds like a brother from the South. And I'm like, wow, what part of the South is he from? You know what I'm saying? I was picking up ATL vibes. Just so happened I was right on that aspect.
Man,
And
you can't go wrong talking to a banger from the South, bro. They got that spake. They got that spake, bro.
absolutely. So again, hold on, I'm having to X something. Okay. So again, the fact that he has his wife assisting him with the video, you know what I'm saying? I just thought that was the coolest shit ever. You know, how can I not subscribe to somebody that's got their wife participating hands on with their Transformers content on YouTube? You know, and he was a fellow brother from the South, and I'm like, man, I got to hook up with him, and I knew that he could help to step my game up. He could really, help me out on a whole lot of things that I probably didn't know, at the time, because I was late in the game with the MP scale, with all of that, because I had just started collecting Transformers seriously around 2017. So again, that was my introduction to Dare 2727, and we've been 100 ever since.
Definitely. Like soon as I seen Big Stan, I was an instant fan of his content. You know what I'm saying? Just an instant fan. And like I was trying to do my part for his channel and leave a comment every time. One, because I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like I love his content. Then I found out he was a professional wrestler, which was one of my childhood dreams. I always wanted to be a wrestler or a manager. So that even took it to another level, you know what I'm saying? And so that's how I found out. And then for Pac, like you said, you came on the channel and me and you, we disagree. And like on my channel, I tell people all the time, on my channel, we can disagree. We can disagree and we can be respectful. I like hearing other people's opinions because I'm not God. I just say my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Like, and your opinion is your opinion, you know what I'm saying? And like a lot of times your opinion is right. Like my opinion may just be short-sighted, or I may not have thought about everything, or I may have thought everything or forgot something. Like, and that's the good part of us all having opinions, right? Like we don't all have to agree, but we all can learn something from each other's opinions. So like me and Packy kind of got like that. And then I saw his page and instantly loved his content. And like, he just grew on me more as a person. And that's Packy, my guy as a band. I consider him a friend. I consider Big Stan a friend, you know what I'm saying? And then the toys start taking more of a back seat or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I love the content and I try to support everybody's content, but because I'm a fan, but also I consider you guys friends and just good people in general. And the world just need more good people or whatever. So,
You know, and I appreciate them words, man. It means a lot to me hearing that coming from you, Big Stan, Marcos, guys like that, man. I mean, it means a lot. It's hilarious because earlier, Dare, you had said, I remember M3. I was watching him, and M3 says, I remember the Dare 27 review of Quietus because Quietus was like 2 years ago, bro. That's
yep.
like 2 years ago now.
I remember Marco's like when he first introduced his wife, and I was like, and I didn't know him and Big Stan knew each other. Okay, he was Mark M3 Marco. He was talking about how he getting in the gym and how he trying to build up that mass like Big Stan or whatever. And I was like, oh man, that's cool. They even knew each other. You know what I'm saying? So like, I was just cool to see them knowing each other. You know what I'm saying? And like, just two people who I didn't even know knew each other. Who I was just fans of their content. Still am fans of their content, but they knew each other. I just thought that was super cool. You know what I'm saying? So like. And I found them both randomly, not like one through the other, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, it's just a whole bunch of good people just
So,
getting together, whatever. And that's
yeah.
that's the world. That's what the world need more of. You know what I'm saying? So
So I'll kind of explain how I came to how M3 and Big Stan came to be a part of my life. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on. In the beginning, there was M3 and Big Stan. Enough fucking said, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. You know,
Yeah, but yeah, definitely M3. I immediately saw his content. I was like, this guy is just what I like, man. I don't like cookie cutter shit. No shade to people who do cookie cutter shit, but I need stuff that hits me more a little bit right there. I need an MF sometimes. I need a little bit of real talk, and M3 brought that with toys. He didn't care. He put himself on camera. He didn't give a fuck what anybody thought. It was
yeah,
real.
like that's what got me with M3 was how raw and uncut everything was about his video. His style of doing videos was like always the same. He never switched up or tried to go pop, so to speak, as we would say back in the '90s. You know what I'm saying? When we was talking about hardcore versus mainstream, he kept it hardcore. He kept it underground, and that right there is what I appreciated the most about M3's style of doing videos. He was totally different from anything I had seen as far as like when he was blowing the smoke on the figures and cracking the beer before he
before he
got ready
started,
to
yeah.
get into the meat and potatoes of the figure. I mean, all of that shit captivated me because it's like this guy is the real deal because he ain't giving a fuck about what nobody else is doing, how they're doing it. He's not trying to please a certain type of person or demographic. He's not trying to impress anybody. He is being himself 100%. And I could feel him from what he was doing. And stuff like that catches me so quick, and that's what drew me to M3, and then the rest was history.
And no cap, I say this: M3, out of all the reviewers, M3 is the only one I felt like he could just open his garage door and just we can go over there and sit outside and chill or whatever. Like his videos gave me that feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a lot of good videos, a lot of good content creator or whatever. But like that's the first one where I was like, man, this guy just you could just see yourself sitting outside talking to him on the car somewhere in the garage, just shooting the breeze with him, you know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
look to him for that, you know what I'm saying? So
Big M says, "Go M3. Not everyone can pull off a 6-hour stream high as fuck." Oh
Man,
no! DFS says, "What got me with M3 was how chill he is with everyone, dude. Um, I'm not gonna lie. When I need to be leveled out, there's a couple people I hit. It's gonna be Big Stan. It's gonna be M3. They gonna make me see something if I need to see it that I'm not seeing. They're gonna tell me. They're gonna keep me accountable for if there's some shit I do. You know what I mean? And motherfuckers that can't be accountable for the shit they do, I got no respect for. We all fuck up.
yeah.
Everybody fucks up, but be accountable for it, man. If I fuck up, I always had this saying. I've worked on cars my whole life. My saying used to be, I don't fuck shit up very often, but when I do, I fuck it up good. You know what I mean? And I'll own it. I'll own it when I fuck something up. You know what I mean? But the motherfuckers that can't own their shit and hit you with the nah, I immediately got no respect for that because we ain't perfect.
Yeah.
yeah, accountability, man. That's something that I speak on quite often. Whether it's here at home, because I'm the man of my house, so I try to lead by example. I try to lead by example wherever I'm at throughout my community. And it's one thing that I hit on often is accountability, especially because I'm a 45-year-old man. So I don't care what's going on at the end of the day. I try to conduct myself as a 45-year-old man that's been through enough in life to know better about the things not to do. So therefore, I try to put forth the example for others, so that maybe some kind of way it'll help the universe in some aspect or another, you know. But you definitely got to start with accountability.
Yeah. Um,
That's you got to hold yourself accountable for where you're
but
where you're lacking,
that
or else you're not going to get better.
I gotta shout this out, man. Quasimodo is a local friend of mine. He's a pretty good dude. He don't trip on a lot of stuff. He knows that I'm busy, and he don't hit me up with bullshit. He's pretty cool, man. I do like Quasimodo, man. I'm glad you stopped in, bro. He says I fuck up every day learning, bro.
That's all us.
Yeah,
In
That's all
statement.
us.
In statement. It's the motherfuckers who got no tolerance for you fucking some stuff up. I may fuck some shit up and I'll learn from it. I won't do it again. It's the guys who fucking act like they don't fuck shit up. That's the people I can't ride with. But
yeah, absolutely.
um like Mark Cosplay. I'm telling you, man, Mark Cosplay, come on the stream, bro, man. It's a guy I gotta be talking to. Frank, or you know what I'm saying? Mark Cosplay. Mark Cosplay Diamonds, Frank Sire. Bro, need to talk to you. Get you on the stream if you like it. If not, it's all good too. If you can hit me up on Instagram, 3 live stream. No underscores, no fucking at symbols, no dots, no exclamations. It's just straight up 3 live stream. You guys are always here, Red Room Diecast. You guys want to get on the show, message me. But I'm gonna go ahead and is there something you want to talk about, Derek? Derek Big Stick, because I need to go take a piss.
I did want to ask this question. I don't know if it's been talked
I'll
about.
hear you still. I hear you still.
Oh, I did want to ask a question. I know it hasn't been on this platform. And this is for the chat too. What do you guys think of HasLab, the direction of HasLab with like this Ghost Rider probably not funding? Like, do you guys have any thoughts on it? Is anybody even getting it or whatever? And do you have any thoughts on HasLabs in general or whatever? So,
Oh, can I touch on that?
yeah, definitely.
Man, I just don't see that project being funded just off the fact that, and I could be wrong, but I think it's because it's first of all it's a car, a plastic car. I don't know if did they ever specify if it's gonna have a remote control or a radio control.
No, it's not. It's not remote controlled. It does have lights and sounds, but it's not remote control.
See, you can buy, and I know this is probably a totally different category or whatever, totally different community that we're probably about to hit on, but you can buy a red cat Monte Carlo right now for about 300 and some change. Radio controls, gonna have hydraulics. Uh, hell, you can make it to where you can stick an action figure in there. You can modify it, for stuff like that. But I just think that the feature of it being radio controlled with hydraulics, with a lot of hardware and things like that, and it's licensed. It's actually going to be Chevrolet licensed. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you're getting what could come off as a bootleg, so to speak. It's just a lot of things to consider when you're talking about a car toy. You know what I'm saying? And you putting that kind of a price tag on it. I just don't think the flame effects and the uh, just what little stuff that's coming with it. I just don't see that justifying that price. And
I I agree with that. I think Red Room and Marcos hit it kind of on Red Room diecast and Marcos hit it kind of on thing. It's a bad direction, kind of Ghost Rider. It's kind of a level 3, tier 3 person character or whatever. So like I would come to ask you because you and Pack of car guys, if it
mhm.
was remote controlled and if it was licensed, would that be more of a justification for the price?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
In my opinion, I
Okay.
think that would have definitely been more of a integral part of trying to get the people interested. Not feeling put it like this, they won't feel as if they're getting shortchanged. Just off the car because I think the car is the main attraction
Yeah,
supposedly.
it's supposed
You
to
know
be
what
the
I'm
yeah,
saying?
the pièce de resistance or whatever, right? Yeah, so it's supposed to be the thing, like yeah. And it does
Yeah.
feel, to your point, champ, it does feel kind of lacking because, and my first when I first saw this, I thought it was automatically RC. I like it cannot be RC, not be RC. And then they said
Right.
it wasn't remote controlled. I was like, well, because those figures are $25 figures or 35 whatever figures or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? So like, I I couldn't see how just lights alone could justify that. And like for me, I'm not the biggest Ghost Rider fan. I wasn't gonna get this regardless because I don't really collect Marvel, but like just somebody
Mhm.
sitting on the outside looking, I would have thought it had to be RC more so than be licensed. So like if it's a remote control vehicle, I think that if it was a remote control vehicle like it is, and I think that would be a better sell than saying, hey, it's licensed, but it's not remote control or whatever. So, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. Take it away, Pat.
I'm getting caught up in chat while I listen to y'all spit your knowledge.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, man, like that's the thing, and HasLab has already starting to catch a lot of backlash for the price, the recent prices on certain things like that. And I could be wrong. I think that the his tank was kind of starting to catch a little heat up until like towards the end, you know, due to their price, But I think that overall they ended up justifying everything, you know, to my knowledge.
you know.
If I'm not mistaken, did they make the his tank radio control?
They didn't make it controlled, but I think they gave people some of those key figures they were missing or whatever. I forget exactly, but I do
Okay.
know it funded.
Okay. So
Yeah,
yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I was under the impression that the his tank ended up being radio controlled. So that when what the point I'm making is if the his tank would have been radio controlled, then there is no way that Marvel wasn't going to be able to release this Ghost Rider vehicle without it being radio controlled and expect to make that sale.
That's a good point. That's a great point. And like I said, I didn't have no dog in this fight. And I guess my bigger question was be, does HasLab in general have a shelf life? Because like like a lot of this stuff isn't getting funded the way they think it should. Like Marvel Legends was probably the most successful line with the Sentinel and the Galactus. Like I think they smashed those records or whatever. And like, you know, is it one of them things they gonna do kind of two or three things for and that's it? Like how long can the HasLab line go? Because like Star Wars is kind of faded off. You know, Transformers, they've only done two things for the Unicron and the Star Saber. I didn't bat the Star Saber, I bat the Unicron. G.I. Joe, like you said, his tank were having problems. And wasn't it an Air Striker that didn't get funded or whatever? So like a lot, I don't know like how long HasLab in general has. Like I'm sure they can go to brands like Power Rangers, but like in true, how many of these things can you really have in HasLab in general, whatever? Regardless, like we all may collect different stuff. How many of these things can HasLab realistically do that'll get funded before you get to something like they're in now, Ghost Rider, tier 3 character who you really got to knock people's socks off to get them to fund it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that was more something I was just curious about.
I gotta give a shout out right now because he came in while I was gone. What up, kid with the grin nip? Kid. Oh yeah. Oh. Kid with grin nip, bro. What's up, man?
Kid with the grit. I had some 1/6 scales. I had Hot Toys, Iron Man, Black Panther, and Thanos. I'm a Transformers fan at heart. They're great figures. I'm just a Transformers fan at heart. But like, it is something to be said about 1/6 scale figures. It's just, to be honest, it's not for me or whatever. So.
Oh, and my guy Bullwinkle 80 showed up. What's up, Bull? What up, Bull? We're banging.
Bullwinkle, what up and what's happening?
We're
Kid
banging
with the Kung Fu grip, what's happening?
That's right.
Everybody that's out there hanging, swinging, and banging in the chats, what up and what's happening?
Somebody asked a question. Yeah. I'm not sure what this is, Diamonds. The Elite 64 Chaser. What is everyone's thoughts? I do not know what you're talking about. I will get back in the know soon, but hit me up with what that is. I know that Red Room Diecast said that he is not on Instagram. Dude, if you want to do some diecast shows, you want to talk some stuff, find a way to hit me up. If you can get one of the comments on my videos, maybe throw your email in there. I'll get it real quick and then I'll delete it, or you can delete it. But yeah, hit me up if you want to get on, man. All you guys, hit me up if you want to get on. We're all fam in here. Bulls, hey, Bullwinkle 80's even fam, even though he drinks wine. So there we go, man. I always say if I'm not busting your balls or something, I don't like you. But so I got my balls busted pretty good by Big Stick before we went on. Did you hear them shits?
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, Pac, you better pay attention, bro. I was like, damn. When the big homie tells you to pay attention, you better get right, bro. Because
I had to get you ready for the night, baby. I had to get you ready to rumble.
Oh, we did, bro. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter what's going on in my life. It may be hitting me hard before we start, but once we go on with whoever's on the crew and whoever's in chat, man, everything just dissipates. This is my comfortable spot, man.
I want to say I'm glad this is your safe space because everybody needs one or whatever. So I'm glad this yours.
Yeah, man. Everybody's most deaf. Who know? Hey, everybody is dope food schnickens. And just so he knows, we love M3, but if we invited him, but he stiffed us hard. He stiffed us hard tonight. Dude, we fuck with. He's that guy that I have on that fucks with me. I fuck with him, man. So, oh, let's see. Are we out of topics? Because I have one more beer. We got to run one more beer before we can get out of here. Is everybody good for 10, 12 minutes, maybe?
I'm about to say I got at least 10 more minutes left in me, brother. And then
yeah, I got 10 more minutes. I can definitely stay for 10 minutes if it's cool. So
all right. So with that being said, everybody. Oh, it ain't time for that yet.
No, it ain't time for that yet, man. No, you just requested 10 minutes. You can't do the outro
No, that's
during the
right.
during the last 10 minutes, bro. You gotta wait. You gotta wait till we're getting out of here. You
But
might don't need that other beer.
that leads into my last segue. I don't unless you guys have something. I'm gonna go ahead and lead to a last segue.
Oh
Big
no,
Stan, Big Stan had told me a long time ago. Have you thought? He said regarding a certain topic. Have you thought about getting on explaining what that means? And I've never done it, and I'm gonna do it right here, right now. So at the end of every video, I say, everybody, just be cool, do good things for other people, and I'm gonna be out. Okay. So, and Big Stance, have you ever told people, kind of explain what that means? And maybe it needs to be said on what the fuck that means. Just be cool. Do you understand street code? Do you understand how to treat people? Do you understand that there are people, you may have shit going on in your life, but guess what? You may encounter somebody's got shit going on in their life. You may need to stuff your shit down. You may need to meet them at the middle, man. You know what I mean? Just because you got something going on don't mean other people don't. Just be cool. Street code is everything. If it passes street code, then it's cool. You know what I mean? So when you guys hear me say just be cool, what do you think it means there?
Like you said, just like not to get religious, but treat everybody the way you want to be treated, right? Like it's very, like you said, it's kind of simple or whatever. And like, you know, don't always put yourself in the other person's position or whatever. You do that, the world would be a better place and you'll be more chill because you know we all do stuff and all humans are some level of smart, right? Like every person is some level of smart. Very few people are just doing stuff that's just batshit crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's doing something that's some level of smart. So like you may not be able to see it from that angle, but if you take a step back, you'll be able to see it from that angle and understand what the person's trying to do. So that's how I
Right.
take it. Just and that'll leave you always in kind of like a chill mood because you understand where the person coming from. It's hard to do, but that's something you try to get to or whatever. So
Um, Motherfuckers step out of your own skin from time to time and try to
exactly.
meet other people and what they got going on. Go ahead, Big Stan.
yeah. To me, just be cool is just being yourself. You know what I'm saying? Just being chill and just being you and whoever doesn't accept that, it is what it is. But just not feeling like you have to alter who you are so much to the point that you're not yourself anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like just
Okay,
be you.
we gotta give I don't want keep going, Mark or Big Stan, but we gotta give the man M3 some shout out before he gets out of here, bro. Thank you so much for hanging in the chat, man. It doesn't matter whether you're on panel or you're in the chat, man. What you bring to everybody is fucking awesome, and we love you for it, man.
Yeah, shout out to
My
Mark.
brother M3,
M3 the guy, man. He the
nothing
guy.
but love, bro.
Go ahead, Big Stan.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, man. I just being cool is just being you and letting people know who you are and what you stand for and everything, in that nature. I mean, I just don't. That's the main thing. Like, try to make it to where people don't are not too uncomfortable around you. Just being laid back, try to provide a laid back atmosphere for everybody else, if all possible. You know, that's pretty much it.
Do good things for other people. Now, let's be real about this. As collectors, what do you think most collectors think that means?
I would think it means if you can try to help your fellow collector out somewhere or another, or just be generous enough to send your fellow collector a piece every now and then. Send them a figure or whatever. Whatever you collect. Just like how I try to do. I try to have people on a list to where hey man, I want to send so and so something. For mainly I do this around Christmas time. you know, uh, just just because, you know what I'm saying? That's we're supposed to be cool enough to do that or whatever, you know. Or I just feel the need to. Hey, I wanna, pass off this gesture, of this. I just want to send somebody something so they can know, hey man, I was thinking about you or whatever. You know what I mean? But just doing something good, something positive, just having positive vibes to pass off to other people in some form or another. It doesn't always have to be physical, nothing material, but just always being able to spread positive vibes some way or another.
There. What do you think that? What do you think that most collectors think that means, and what do you think it means?
Yeah, so like what I think it mean, I think it go back to kind of the topic we had earlier, where it's like, don't step over other collectors, like putting figures first over people, right? Like the be cool, just keep remember people are worth more than plastic, always, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just, and I think that get lost in the sauce. So I think that for me, that's what it mean or whatever. I think that other collectors probably mean like don't argue, don't, just remember that a lot of times this is a hobby for everybody and that it should be enjoyed and not taken too serious, because this is like we all have real world problems, right? You know what I'm saying? We all have bills to pay, we all have, you know, mouths to feed, whether it's your mouth, somebody else's mouth, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, life is on everybody in one way or another, you know what I'm saying? So like should be an outlet from life, and making sure that we keep it as an outlet from life. So that's why I think that the group, the community feels. Sorry about that.
You know what? The good Reverend Dare 2727 has spoken. That's right. I've anointed Dare 2727 as the Reverend because I'm telling you what, he will always come with some good positive action, not just positive. He will come with good content, whether it's him understanding the topic, knowing what he's very articulate. But the good Reverend Dare has spoken, and it's great, dude. So before I go, we're going to read some comments on what people think. Red Room Diecast says, wait, what you're saying is I shouldn't be a dick. Oh, man, there goes the rest of the week. Bro, I feel you, man. I feel you.
Just do it justifiably, Red Room.
Yeah, like my best friends call me an asshole, but they know I'm a loyal asshole who has their back. You know what I mean? So, Big M says, big shout outs to guys like Pack and Cass for bringing the community together and having some good conversations. That's
I
what
agree. I agree with that. I ain't mean to cut you off, Pack. I agree with that because like Kaz, 10 o'clock every night, him and Bounder coming on, you know what I'm saying? And like it's just good conversation. Same thing with you, Pack, man. Just Big M said it best, but I completely agree, man. So
Yeah, me
it
too.
is, man. Yeah, big shouts to guys like Pack and Cass for bringing the community together and having some good conversations. That's what it's all about. This shit back here, man, it's materialistic and it can go by the fucking wayside, man. But treat your brother good. That's what you're gonna. That's what's gonna be meaningful in life, man. Um, Let me go through the rest of the chat here.
I like what
Yeah,
Jonathan
but
Walker said.
get back in collecting when COVID. Sorry about that. So, Jonathan Walker says, I started collecting back. Let me start over again. I started getting back into collecting when COVID. The biggest thing I noticed is everyone needs to be as proud of others' collection as yours, your own, and don't compare your collections to others. When you become more interested in flexing on motherfuckers, then you become somebody who I don't want to fucking hang with. So good point, Jonathan Walker, man. You know what? Jonathan Walker is new into the chat today, man. We do appreciate you stopping along with all the other bangers who have been. But man, I love to see someone new, not just new. I love to see the people who have been supporting forever. Frank Sire, Red Room, the kid with the grip, Diamonds, everybody. Pop the Trunk Toys. There's so many people, Diamonds. I don't want to miss anybody out. But all you people are awesome to me, man. It's been a rough week, and I'm not no different than anybody else. Bears probably having a rough week. Big Stan having a rough week. Frank Sire, kid with the grip, diamonds, M3. Man, I got on here and it just is like, you know what? It ain't no big deal, man. I'm gonna handle it. I'm gonna go on. Um, Red Room Diecast says, "Don't screw the person in front of you. Don't screw the person in front or behind you. You never know when you'll need their help." Um,
That part.
That's it right there. That's the one right there. That's the
there's a
one.
lot.
Absolutely.
It's not just me, man. It's not just Big Stan. It's not just Dare. This gives a platform for everybody to express their knowledge. There's a lot of people who out there who are fuck knuckles, bro. They're just fucking into plastic. They don't give a fuck about shit. But then there's the other people. You know, people like Big Stan, the People's Champ, Dare, the Reverend, M3, the Banger, bro. Mark Cosplay, who has everybody's back, the Instagram shout out king, Frank Sire, Quasimodo, Jonathan Walker, the new guy, Diamonds, Mark Cosplay, fucking Pop the Trunk Toys, all these people, Big M, Red Room Diecast. There's a lot of good people out there. And you know what? They all keep us good and together. So what do I think it means? What do I think the community, what do I think people think it means to do good for others? Just be cool, do good things for others. I think the majority of the people think do good things for others means sending them a toy. That's what I think it means when they hear that say that. Do you understand at the end of the day, how many times have we gotten something we want and life hits you afterwards and you almost forget that fucking thing we just got don't mean shit. We had a life event that happened. It quickly becomes negated. The best thing you can do good things for other people. Just be there when they need somebody to be there. Now, what Big Stan says, when somebody sends me something, I send somebody, it's my heart. I'm not sending you a piece of shit in a box. I'm giving you a piece of me, right? But you don't just have to do that for motherfuckers. You know, when they need some help, lend an ear.
Yeah.
That's just do good things for other people. So many people on YouTube think it's about give me a gift, give me some shits. You know what I mean? To me, that's what I mean when I say that. Just be cool. If it doesn't follow street code, if you wouldn't do it to somebody else, if you don't want yourself treated like that, don't do it. Just do good things for other just do good things for other people means what I just said. You know what I mean? That's what it means to me. And I think it's lost in the collector realm of gimme, gimme, gimme and materialistic items. Um, I can't tell you how much it means to me tonight. It's been a rough day. It's been a rough week. All these people that came in here, Fast Eddie sent me some things. I'll never degrade those items. You know, Big Stan sent me some items. I'll never degrade those items. You know, but I will be honest with you. The best thing you can give me is your wisdom when I need it. That's the motherfucking thing right there that I can take with me on my journey through life and better myself.
That's it right there. And not to steal your thunder pack, man. I could just say this from personal experience. It be times where like I may be having a rough week. You just check in and be like, hey man, I just hope everything okay. You know what I'm saying? And like same thing. I may check on you, like, hey man, how everything going? I just ain't heard from you in a week or two. Just making sure you good. Like I may hit stand up, say, hey man, on Instagram, what's up, brother? You all right, man? You good? And I don't be wanting nothing, but like those are the things, like you said, that mean to me more than the toys. Just making sure, like, because I don't want to wake up and see something and you wrong or something like that. And I ain't saying I do it all the time or we do it all the time, but just knowing that it is a safe space or it is a person who care about you, like not that far away, right? You know what I'm saying? And the plastic is good. I think we've all sent people plastic all the time, but like the little text message, the little, hey man, you okay? Hey man, I just thought about you, just making sure you're okay. I think that's infinitely more valuable than the plastic to me. And I want to thank both of you guys for doing that. So like, you know,
Definitely,
everybody
yeah.
everybody in the chat, whatever, you see this video, you know, if you're in this community, man, make some friends, reach out, because you never know, they may carry you through some hard times, you know what I'm saying? And they may not even know it's your hard time. So, you know, just always do that, whatever. So,
Uh,
Yeah, it's just the principle, and it's just all about again, the toys, the plastic, and all of that, that's what brought us together. But I don't feel like that's primarily what's keeping us all together. You know, but again, my, my prime example of that is like what Pac just finished explaining. Well, shit, if I can get this right, but what he just finished explaining, you know, hey, that's how it's been. And shout out to Brother Bo. He was a name that I wanted to mention with that list of names. Shout out to Brother Bo out there in Texas. All right. Just want to put that out there because he's a prime example, one of those ones that'll he'll hit me up whenever it crosses his mind, and I hit him up. This it's just the show camaraderie amongst your brothers and your fellow man in the hobby and collecting community and wherever you might be in the world. You know, it just doesn't hurt to be a good citizen. It doesn't hurt to be a good person. There's nothing wrong with that. Is basically what I'm saying. Try your best to be a good influence and a inspiration to someone else. Because that's what the world needs, whether we realize it or not. There's a whole lot of decline in actual genuine people, and good example of to lead the next generation. It's a lot of selfishness, and that's something we got to get away from. We got to get away from it real quick. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Pack, you on mute. I think if you talking,
Yeah, you on mute, brother.
you on mute. You on
Thank
mute.
you. Thank you. I got a couple minutes left. I got beer left. Um, man, this is where I like. I hate the fact that what I've been doing lately has taken me away from doing this. It's not as important as being connected with people. I don't give a fuck. Money is never the fucking defining factor as being able to connect and communicate with motherfuckers. If you think money is the fucking root of your existence, then me and you never gonna fucking ride. You know, um, I've been away for a while. Everybody's kind of seen that. I got to get back to doing what makes me good. There was something else I was going to say, but I don't know if I remember.
Well, let me say, hey, brother, it's okay to venture out and try other avenues. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't do everything. You can't maintain with every deal that you have going. It's just like me. I alternate different things, that I'm into, and I'm into a lot of different shit. But I alternate it. If anybody has ever noticed that, that's how I maintain. And sometimes you might see me hitting the Hot Wheels. Sometimes you might see me hitting the Transformers, Star Wars, whatever, Marvel, whatever. But that's figure wise, just to use it as an example. But right now I do car detail outside of working 12 hours, outside of wrestling and all of that. But I alternate. It's okay to have different lanes. You know what I'm saying? But you just have to know how to navigate throughout those lanes. So it's forgivable, brother.
So I know what I wanted to say. Fast Eddie says we all put our pants on the same way. That gets forgotten. It's a simple phase. It's a simple saying. There's a lot of simple sayings that get forgotten in the world of social media and overcomplicating stuff and trying to be politically correct. Um, what I want to end this with, and we'll go around the panel. If you have something that's causing you stress that you can control, cut it out. If you collect something and it's causing you stress, cut it out. If you are in a relationship with somebody, don't matter what's a man, woman, whatever it is, because we all friends, we got relationships with ladies, wives, men, whatever it may be. If it's causing you stress, cut it out. If them people don't want to support you and have your back, cut it out. Because at the end of the day, you don't need it. Go ahead there. And we're going to close it out with everybody's thoughts. And then Big Stan will close us out to the end, man, because he deserves that because he is a people's champion. The real professional wrestler, the first ever Texarkana champion for Southwest Pro Wrestling. We will end them shits with him. You're on mute there. You're on mute.
Well, first and foremost, I got to thank you, Pac, for having me on, man. It's always a pleasure. Big Stan, the people's champ. You already know where we stand. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the chat squad. You guys have been amazing tonight. A lot of great comments on there, a lot of great insight. Meeting a lot of you guys for the first time. So I appreciate kicking it with you. You know what I'm saying? And, would love to be on again. So I appreciate all you guys. So thanks again, Pat.
Bro, I gotta say this. I am honored. I am honored to be on with Dare. It's not you guys being on my channel. I am honored for you guys to be on. Me and Marcos call it the Brady Bunch Squares. I am honored to have you guys on. Kid, you got to get on here, bro. Come on, kid. Marco stole my thunder, and I saw you was on his shits, bro. But man, come on. I'm blessed to be on with everybody that comes on with me. I appreciate that there, but I'm the real one getting the benefits, man. I appreciate y'all. Go ahead, Big Stan.
Well, I think I pretty much said everything that needed to be said for this episode. But I will leave you all on this note. Remember everything that was talked about in this episode. If you got to go back and rewind it and watch it again, feel free to do so. Because I feel like there was a lot of necessary and essential information that was dropped on here tonight. A lot of life-changing advice and information that can be taken, and you can go forward, and things can be different in ways that it might need to be for you. I've gone through a lot in life, and that's the reason why I'm able to say this, and the reason why I'm able to tell you that when you know better, do better. And I guarantee you it's going to make a drastic change for you for the better. It will make a difference for you in ways that you probably would have never imagined. And with that said, for the Pack Daddy, and for my man there 2727, and everybody that has been hanging, swinging, and banging with us in the chat tonight, this is your big homie, the first ever Texarkana wrestling champion for Southwest Pro Wrestling, Big Stan Harris, signing off for the 3 live stream. Saying y'all already know what it is, and y'all already know what to do. Until the next time, continue doing what you enjoy. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Yeah.
Don't go nowhere. I'm going to stop the endless loop. Everybody, just do good. Everybody, just be cool. Do good things for other people. And we going to be out. Peace.